When a $2 million machine breaks down at a big company, the rich CEO gets angry and scared. He yells at his workers, but nobody can fix it. Then he sees Rosa, the quiet cleaning lady who mops the floors. In a mean voice, he says, "Maybe you should try fixing it." He thinks he's being funny. He thinks she's just a simple woman who cleans toilets. But Rosa surprises everyone. She walks up to the giant machine and says, "Okay, I'll try." The CEO laughs. The workers gasp. Nobody knows that Rosa's father was the genius who created this exact machine 30 years ago. Nobody knows that Rosa learned his secrets when she was just a little girl. As Rosa puts her hands on the machine, two big questions hang in the air. Will this cleaning lady really be able to fix what trained engineers couldn't? And when the CEO finds out who her father was, how will it change everything at this company forever? It all begins at Silvertech Industries, where CEO Marcus Blackwood storms into the main factory floor. His company's most important machine, the one that makes their best-selling computer chips, has broken down completely. Workers stand around looking worried. Marcus is angry and scared. This machine costs $2 million. If it stays broken, his company will lose millions more. The repair team from Germany won't arrive for 3 days. Marcus feels his world falling apart. Enter Rosa Martinez, a 45-year-old cleaning lady who has worked at the company for 5 years. She's quiet, keeps to herself, and most people barely notice her. She has kind eyes, but looks tired from working 2 jobs to support her teenage daughter, Sophia. As Rosa quietly mops nearby, she watches the engineers scratch their heads. The machine makes strange clicking sounds. Rosa's eyes narrow as she studies the massive metal contraption. Something about those sounds seems familiar to her. Marcus notices Rosa staring. "What are you looking at?" he snaps. "Don't you have toilets to clean?" Rosa looks down. "Sorry, sir," but Marcus is desperate. In a moment of sarcasm mixed with panic, he throws his hands up. "You know what? Maybe you should try fixing it. Everyone else here is useless." The workers gasp. How dare he mock Rosa like that? But Rosa surprises everyone. She sets down her mop and says quietly, "Okay, I'll try." Rosa approaches the massive machine while everyone watches in shock. What could a cleaning lady possibly know about fixing complex machinery? As Rosa walks toward the machine, we flash back to her childhood. She was 8 years old, sitting in a small workshop filled with gears, wires, and half-built inventions. Her father, Diego Martinez, was hunched over a workbench, his weathered hands delicately adjusting tiny parts. "Papa, what are you making?" little Rosa had asked. Diego smiled, his eyes twinkling. "Something that will change the world, mija. This machine will help make computers faster and smaller. One day, everyone will have a computer." Rosa had laughed. "That's silly, Papa. Computers are huge." Diego had lifted her onto his lap. "Watch, Rosa. See how I listen to the machine? Every sound tells a story. This click means the gears are happy. This buzz means they need oil. Machines are like people. They tell you what's wrong if you know how to listen." Back in the present, Rosa runs her fingers along the machine's metal surface. The workers whisper and point. Marcus taps his expensive watch impatiently. "This is ridiculous," he mutters. But Rosa closes her eyes and listens. The clicking pattern. She's heard it before. In her father's workshop 30 years ago. She opens her eyes and for the first time in years, she smiles. "The timing belt is loose," she says softly. "And the pressure valve needs adjusting." Marcus laughs cruelly. "Timing belt? Lady, this isn't a car. This is precision German engineering." Rosa ignores him. She asks a worker for a wrench and climbs onto a small ladder. As she works, more memories flood back. Her father teaching her about hydraulics, while her mother cooked dinner. Weekend mornings spent in the workshop, learning to read blueprints like bedtime stories. Rosa makes several adjustments to the machine. The workers hold their breath as she prepares to turn it on. Will it work, or will Marcus fire her for touching his expensive equipment? Rosa's small hands work with surprising confidence. She adjusts 3 different parts of the machine, checking pressure gauges and listening to internal sounds that others can't even hear. Marcus grows more agitated. "Stop, you're going to break it worse." But something in Rosa's calm demeanor makes the other workers tell him to wait. Rosa finishes her adjustments and steps back. She takes a deep breath and presses the large green start button. For a moment, nothing happens. Then the machine hums to life, smooth and quiet. The workers cheer. Perfect computer chips begin rolling off the production line for the first time in 3 days. Marcus's mouth drops open. How did you? Rosa simply nods and picks up her mop. But Marcus isn't done. His shock turns to suspicion and anger. "You sabotaged it," he accuses. "You broke it on purpose so you could look like a hero." The workers protest, but Marcus is on a roll. "I'm calling security. You're probably stealing company secrets. Who are you working for?" Rosa's face crumbles. After years of quiet service, after fixing his machine and saving his company, Marcus is accusing her of being a criminal. Tears well up in her eyes. "Please, sir," she whispers. "I just wanted to help. I need this job. My daughter Sophia, she's sick. The medical bills." But Marcus is too proud and scared to back down. "You're fired. Security will escort you out." As security guards approach Rosa, the other workers look ashamed. They want to defend her, but they're afraid of losing their own jobs. As Rosa is led away, she turns back one last time. "The machine will break again in exactly 72 hours, she says quietly. "When it does, check the secondary cooling system." Why is she so certain about the timing? 3 days later, exactly as Rosa predicted, the machine breaks down again. This time it's worse. Smoke pours from the secondary cooling system, just as Rosa had warned. Marcus panics. The German repair team is still 2 days away. He calls emergency technicians, but they're baffled. The machine is too specialized, too unique. Meanwhile, Rosa sits in her tiny apartment, helping her 16-year-old daughter Sophia with homework. Sophia has been battling leukemia for 2 years. The medical treatments are expensive, and without Rosa's job, they're in serious trouble. "Mama, why don't you tell people about Grandpa Diego?" Sophia asks. "About what he did?" Rosa sighs. "Nobody would believe me, mija. I'm just a cleaning lady to them." At the factory, worker Jenny Williams can't stop thinking about Rosa. She decides to do some research. Using the factory's computer, she searches for information about the machine's original designer. What she finds makes her gasp. The machine was invented by Dr. Diego Martinez, a brilliant engineer who held 17 patents. The photo shows a kind-faced man with twinkling eyes, the same eyes as Rosa. Jenny digs deeper. Diego Martinez had died 15 years ago, leaving behind a widow and daughter. His daughter Rosa had been studying engineering in college but dropped out when her mother got sick. She'd been working odd jobs ever since. More shocking still, Diego Martinez hadn't just designed this machine. He designed the entire production process that made Silvertech successful. His patents had expired years ago, which is how Marcus had been able to use the designs legally. But morally, that was another question. Jenny prints everything and takes it to her supervisor, then to the plant manager. Soon, a small group of workers knows the truth. They're amazed and ashamed. Rosa Martinez wasn't just any cleaning lady. She was the daughter of the genius who'd made their company possible. As the machine continues to smoke and malfunction, costing the company millions, Jenny makes a bold decision. She's going to find Rosa and bring her back, whether Marcus likes it or not. But will Rosa even want to help after how she was treated? Jenny drives to Rosa's apartment building in the poor part of town. She climbs 3 flights of stairs and knocks on a door marked Martinez. Rosa opens the door, surprised to see Jenny. Is everything okay? Did something happen at work? Rosa, I need to show you something, Jenny says, holding out the printed articles about Diego Martinez. Rosa's face goes pale as she sees her father's photo. Where did you get these? From the company database. Rosa, why didn't you tell us who your father was? Rosa invites Jenny inside. The apartment is small but clean. Sophia sits at a card table doing homework, an IV bag hanging from a coat rack beside her chair. After Papa died, I tried to get engineering jobs, Rosa explains. But I never finished college. Companies saw a Hispanic woman without a degree and wouldn't even interview me. I needed work fast when Sophia got sick. Cleaning was the only job I could find. Jenny learns that Rosa has been quietly fixing small problems around the factory for years. Broken conveyor belts, electrical issues, ventilation problems. She'd fix them during her cleaning rounds, and people assumed the day shift had handled it. The machine is broken again, Jenny tells her. Just like you said it would be. Marcus is desperate. The company is losing $3 million a day. Rosa shakes her head. I can't go back there. Mr. Blackwood made it clear what he thinks of me. Sophia looks up from her homework. Mama, remember what Grandpa used to say? When you have a gift, you have a responsibility to use it, even when people don't deserve it. Rosa touches her daughter's face gently. Sophia is so thin, so tired from the treatments. But her eyes are bright with intelligence, Diego's eyes. Besides, Sophia continues, maybe it's time people knew the truth about Grandpa Diego, about what he gave the world and what he gave you. Jenny adds, Rosa, the workers know the truth now. We all want you to come back. We'll stand behind you. Rosa looks at the photo of her father, then at her brave daughter. She thinks about all the years of staying invisible, of accepting less than she deserved. Finally, she nods. I'll come back. But not for Marcus, for Papa's memory, and to show Sophia that we don't have to hide who we are. As Rosa prepares to return to the factory, she makes a phone call that surprises Jenny. Hello, is this the patent office? I need to ask about renewing some old patents. What is Rosa planning? Rosa returns to Silvertech with Jenny and a growing group of supportive workers. The factory floor is in chaos. The machine is completely shut down, smoke damage is spreading, and Marcus is screaming at everyone. When Marcus sees Rosa, his face turns red. What is she doing here? I told you she's fired. Jenny steps forward. Mr. Blackwood, I think you need to see something. She hands him the articles about Diego Martinez. Marcus barely glances at them. I don't have time for this nonsense. The German team won't be here until tomorrow. Then you better make time, says a new voice. The workers turn to see an older man in an expensive suit walking through the factory doors. It's Robert Chen, the chairman of Silvertech's board of directors. Marcus goes pale. Mr. Chen, I didn't know you were coming. Emergency board meeting, Chen says coldly. When a company loses $9 million in 3 days, the board tends to notice. Chen looks at the smoking machine, then at the articles Jenny hands. His expression changes completely as he reads. Diego Martinez, he says quietly. I remember him. Brilliant man. I was just a junior engineer when he designed this system. Is this... He looks at Rosa. His daughter? Rosa steps forward, no longer the invisible cleaning lady. Yes, sir. I'm Rosa Martinez. Chen extends his hand respectfully. Ms. Martinez, I'm honored to meet you. Your father was a genius. His work revolutionized our entire industry. Marcus interrupts desperately. We don't have time for family reunions. The machine will be fixed, Rosa says calmly. She walks to a control panel and opens it, revealing a complex mess of wires and circuits. But first, Mr. Blackwood, you need to understand something. She pulls out a thick folder she's been carrying. These are my father's original patents. They expired, which is how your company could use his designs legally. But I've been studying patent law. Did you know that improvements to existing patents can be refiled under new patents? Marcus's face goes white. What are you saying? Rosa smiles for the first time with real confidence. I'm saying that every improvement I've made to Papa's machines over the past 5 years, and there have been many, now belong to me. And I'm about to show you just how much this company depends on those improvements. Rosa begins working on the machine with steady, expert hands. As she works, she explains each step to the amazed crowd of workers and executives. The original cooling system was efficient, but Papa always said it had one flaw, she says, adjusting. A complex valve system. It couldn't handle continuous operation in hot weather. I designed a secondary heat exchanger 5 years ago and installed it during a weekend and maintenance. She points to a section of the machine that none of the German engineers had even noticed. Without this modification, the machine would break down every summer. Your company has been running on my improvements for years. Chairman Chen watches. In fascination. Marcus watches in growing horror as he realizes the implications. Rosa continues. The timing synchronization system, I improved that 3 years ago when production kept falling behind schedule. The pressure regulation that prevents chip defects, my design from last year. With each revelation, the workers cheer louder. They're witnessing something incredible. The invisible woman who cleaned their workplace was actually the engineering genius who kept it running. But why? Chen asks. Why didn't you ever tell anyone? Rosa pauses in her work. At first, I was afraid I'd get in trouble for modifying equipment without permission. Then I realized nobody cared about the opinion of a cleaning lady. My improvements worked. Production increased, and everyone assumed the day shift engineers deserved the credit. She makes a final adjustment, and the machine purrs to life, running smoother than it has in years. Marcus can't stay quiet anymore. This is blackmail. You can't just claim ownership of... Actually, she can, interrupts a woman's voice. Everyone turns to see a professional-looking Latina woman in a business suit walking toward them. I'm Carmen Rodriguez, patent attorney. I've been reviewing Ms. Martinez's documentation. Rosa hugs the woman warmly. Everyone, this is my college roommate. When I called her yesterday, she agreed to help me file the patent applications. Carmen addresses the crowd professionally. Ms. Martinez has detailed documentation of every improvement she's made, including dates, photos, and performance data. Under patent law, these innovations belong to her. The implications hit Marcus like a truck. You're saying she owns improvements to our main production system? Improvements that are essential to your operation, Carmen confirms. Without Ms. Martinez's modifications, this factory would produce about 30% fewer chips, with 40% more defects. Chairman Chen looks thoughtful. Ms. Martinez, what exactly are you proposing? Rosa's answer will change everything. But what does she really want? Rosa looks around at all the faces watching her, workers who had supported her, executives who had ignored her, and Marcus who had humiliated her. In this moment, she holds all the power. What I want, Rosa says quietly, is what my father always wanted. Respect for innovation, recognition for hard work, and opportunity for people like me and my daughter. She turns to Chairman Chen. I'm not interested in destroying this company. These workers are good people who deserve their jobs, but I am interested in justice. Rosa pulls out a prepared document. I'm proposing a partnership. I'll license my improvements to Silvertech in exchange for 3 things. First, A position as senior engineering consultant with a salary that reflects my actual contributions. Second, full college scholarships for Sophia and any other children of Silvertech employees who want to study engineering. Third, Marcus Blackwood issues a public apology to every worker he's ever dismissed or disrespected without cause. The factory floor goes silent. Marcus's face cycles through anger, fear, and resignation. Chairman Chen studies the proposal. This seems very reasonable. Marcus, what do you think? Marcus realizes he has no choice. His pride wars with his desperation, but the math is simple. Accept Rosa's terms or watch the company collapse. Marcus struggles with the words. Finally, his shoulders slump. I owe you an apology, Ms. Martinez. I was wrong. I was scared about the machine, but that's no excuse for how I treated you. He looks around at the workers. I owe all of you an apology. I've been so focused on profits that I forgot this company runs on people, not just machines. Rosa nods, graciously. Apology accepted. Over the following weeks, everything changes at Silvertech. Rosa moves from the cleaning crew to a bright office in the engineering department. Her first official project is training a new generation of technicians to understand and maintain her father's original designs. Sophia's medical treatments are now covered by the company's premium health plan. She's responding well to treatment, and her strength is returning. She spends afternoons at the factory, learning engineering from her mother, just like Rosa learned from Diego. The most surprising change is in Marcus himself. Humbled by the experience, he starts actually talking to workers instead of just giving orders. He learns their names, asks about their families, and listens to their ideas for improvements. 6 months later, something unexpected happens that brings the story full circle. A young engineer presents Marcus with a breakthrough innovation, but there's something familiar about both the engineer and the invention. The young engineer standing in Marcus's office is Sofia Martinez, now 18 and cancer-free. Her hair has grown back thick and beautiful, and her eyes shine with the same intelligence as her grandfather Diego and mother Rosa. Ms. Martinez, Marcus says warmly, I understand you have a new design proposal? Sofia spreads blueprints across his desk. It's an improvement to the chip cutting process. Mom's modifications made production faster and more reliable, but I think we can make it more environmentally friendly too. Marcus studies the drawings with genuine interest, a far cry from the dismissive boss he used to be. This looks like it could reduce waste by 40%. How did you develop this? Grandpa's old notebooks, Sophia explains. Mom saved them all. He had ideas that were ahead of his time. Designs for processes that couldn't be built with 1990s technology. But now, with modern materials and computers, we can make them work. Marcus smiles. Like grandfather, like granddaughter, and like mother too. Rosa, what do you think? He turns to Rosa, who has been quietly observing from a chair by the window. Rosa beams with pride. I think Papa would be amazed. His little workshop ideas are still helping people 30 years later. Marcus approves Sophia's project immediately. As the meeting ends, he asks Rosa to stay behind. I've been thinking, he says. Silvertech has grown a lot since you started working here. We're opening new factories in 3 states. I'd like you to oversee the engineering setup for all of them. Rosa's eyes widen. You're offering me a promotion. I'm offering you the job you should have had from the beginning, Marcus says. Vice President of Engineering Innovation. You'd travel to each new facility, train their teams, and implement your father's designs properly from the start. Rosa considers this. It's the kind of job she dreamed of 20 years ago when she first dropped out of college. Now, at 45, she's finally getting the opportunity to use all her knowledge and experience. There's one condition, she says. Marcus looks nervous. What's that? I want to hire other people like me. people who've been overlooked because they don't look like traditional engineers. Women, minorities, people without fancy degrees but with real skills. Give me permission to find hidden talent, wherever it exists. Marcus nods immediately. Done. In fact, I insist on it. As Rosa prepares to leave his office, Marcus stops her one more time. Rosa, can I ask you something personal? She nods. Why did you stay? After everything I put you through after I humiliated you in front of everyone. Why did you come back to help? Rosa thinks for a moment. Because Papa taught me that knowledge isn't meant to be hoarded. It's meant to be shared. And because sometimes people need a chance to be better than they were. As Rosa walks out of Marcus's office as the new VP of engineering, she passes the factory floor, where a new cleaning lady is starting her first day. The woman looks nervous and out of place. Rosa pauses, remembering her own first day 5 years ago. What will she do? Rosa approaches the new cleaning lady, a young woman who looks to be in her 20s. She's struggling with an industrial mop. That's clearly too big for her small frame. First day? Rosa asks kindly. The woman looks up, startled. Yes, ma'am. I'm Maya Patel. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to stay out of everyone's way. Nonsense, Rosa says, taking the mop and adjusting it to the right height. I'm Rosa Martinez. I used to do your job. Maya's eyes widen. You're the Rosa Martinez? The VP of engineering? Everyone's been talking about you. Rosa laughs. All good things, I hope. Maya, can I give you some advice? Maya nods eagerly. While you're working, keep your eyes and ears open. This factory is full of amazing machines and brilliant people. Don't ever think that your job makes you invisible or unimportant. Some of the best ideas come from people who see things differently. Maya smiles. My father always said something similar. He's an inventor back in India, but his designs were never taken seriously because he didn't have formal education. Rosa's eyes light up with interest. What kind of inventions? Water purification systems, solar panel improvements, small things that could help villages, but no big company wanted them. Maya, Rosa says thoughtfully, would you be interested in a different kind of job? I'm looking for people with practical engineering knowledge to join my new team. Maya's mop clatters to the floor. Are you serious? Dead serious. Bring me your father's designs next week. Let's see what a real inventor's daughter can contribute to this company. 6 months later, Silvertech's quarterly board meeting looks very different. The conference room that once held only older white men in expensive suits now includes Rosa, Sophia, Maya, and several other diverse engineers. Chairman Chen reviews the quarterly reports with amazement. Production is up 47%. Quality defects are down 60%. Customer satisfaction is at an all-time high. And somehow, we're spending less on equipment maintenance than ever before. Marcus, who now serves as Chief Operations Officer, having promoted himself out of the CEO role, addresses the board. It turns out that when you listen to people who actually work with the machines every day, you learn things you never knew you didn't know. He nods toward Rosa. Rosa's Hidden Talent program has identified 12 employees with engineering skills we never recognized. Maya Patel's water recycling system will save us $2 million annually in environmental compliance costs. Sophia Martinez's waste reduction process has been licensed to 3 other companies. Rosa stands to present her annual report. But the most important change isn't in our numbers, she says. It's in our culture. We've proven that innovation comes from everywhere. Maintenance crews, cleaning staff, cafeteria workers, security guards. Everyone has something valuable to contribute if we just listen. She clicks to her final slide, which shows a photo of her father Diego in his small workshop, surrounded by blueprints and half-built inventions. My father used to say that the best machine in any factory is the human mind. He was right. But he also taught me that minds work best when they're respected, valued, and given room to grow. The board applauds enthusiastically. After the meeting, Rosa walks through the factory floor one more time. Workers wave and call out greetings. The machines hum smoothly, producing perfect chips day after day. She stops at Diego's old machine, the one that started everything. A small plaque has been installed beside it. In memory of Dr. Diego Martinez, whose innovations made this company possible, and whose daughter Rosa proved that genius can't be hidden forever. Rosa touches the plaque gently, then looks up at the factory windows where afternoon sunlight streams in. Somewhere in that light, she imagines she can see her father's proud smile. Sophia appears beside her, now wearing the blue shirt of a junior engineer. "Mom, the new apprentices are ready for today's lesson." Rosa nods. "What are we teaching them today?" "How to listen to machines," Sophia says with a grin. "Just like Grandpa taught you." As they walk toward the training room together, Rosa reflects on how much has changed. A year ago, she was invisible. Today, she's training the next generation of engineers. Her father's legacy lives on, not just in the machines he designed, but in the lives he continues to touch through the knowledge he passed down. The factory floor buzzes with activity, but it's different now, filled with voices that were once silent, ideas that were once ignored, and dreams that were once dismissed. Marcus watches from his office window as Rosa leads a group of diverse young apprentices through the factory. He shakes his head in amazement at his own transformation. The arrogant CEO who once mocked a cleaning lady has become a leader who knows that everyone has something valuable to offer. He turns back to his desk, where Maya's latest proposal sits waiting for review. It's a design for making their entire production process carbon neutral, another impossible idea from someone the old Marcus would never have listened to. As the sun sets over Silvertech Industries, the machines continue their steady work, guided by the invisible hands of Diego Martinez's legacy and the very visible hands of his daughter and granddaughter. The story that began with cruelty and dismissal ends with respect, opportunity, and the recognition that true worth isn't determined by job titles or appearance. It's revealed by character, knowledge, and the courage to stand up for what's right. Rosa Martinez learned that lesson from her father. She taught it to her daughter. And together, they're passing it on to a new generation that will never forget that genius can be found anywhere if you just know how to look. Rosa's story shows us that everyone deserves respect, no matter what job they do. Sometimes the most amazing people are hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone to see their true worth. What did you think of Rosa's incredible journey? Let me know in the comments where you're listening from around the world. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us share more stories of kindness and hope with people everywhere. And speaking of amazing stories, don't miss the incredible tale appearing on your screen right now. A hotel maid answered a call in Chinese in front of a billionaire. The next day she vanished. Click on it to discover another story that will leave you speechless. Thanks for listening, and remember, always treat others with kindness. You never know whose life you might change. Write and concise outro to ask where they are listening from, and like the video and subscribe the channel to spread kindness, and click on the video appearing the screen right now. A hotel maid answered. A write and concise outro to ask where they are listening from, and like the video and subscribe the channel to spread kindness, and click on the video appearing the screen right now. A hotel maid answered a call in Chinese in front of a billionaire. The next day, she vanished. Call in Chinese in front of a billionaire. The next day, she vanished.